Joseph.
Present.
Senator Liberian Dallas Dillon. Senator Petroleum O. Duncan. Liberian County. Senator J. Rebel Brown. Bon County. Senator Prince Cameron Wade.
Present.
Senator Johnny K. Wade. Nima County. Senator Yanni Twine.
Present.
Grand Juliet County. Senator Zoe Maya Peno. Senator Thomas Yaya Nunez.
Present.
Lofa County. Senator Councilor Joseph K. Jara. Senator Monty Saros. Robbie County. Senator Edwin Levy Snow Jr. Senator J. Alice Tyler. Mike Gibby County. Senator Anthony Maya James Luque. Senator Natalia F. McGill. Rosses County. Senator Wellington Devon Smith. Senator Deotia Tuawe. Grand Creek County. Senator Professor Abbott Tupachi. Senator Community H. Patekwa. Roger County. Senator Jonathan Boacha Subwe. Senator Francis S. Dopo II. Bapuro County. Senator Bodo County. And Senator Amara M. Connie. Madam President, distinguished senators, that's 17 senators present.
Thank you for the report. So we have quorum for the district and Secretary of Assembly. Can you read your agenda?
11 Senate, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Second day sitting, second section, 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. Agenda or order of business. 1. Call to order. 2. Devotion. 3. Roll call. 4. Reading and announcement of the agenda. 5. Unfinished business. 6. Report from standing committees. A. Report from a joint committee comprising the committees on judiciary, human rights, claim and petition, and public corporations on an act to amend that protected public authority law, Liberian Code of Revived to establish the Liberian National Tourism Authority Act, LNTA. B. Report from the Committee on Foreign Affairs on the confirmation hearing of Honorable Dr. Hassan Contact, Ambassador to the United States of America, designated Ministry of Foreign Affairs. C. Report from the Committee on Foreign Affairs on the confirmation hearing of Honorable Joseph Johnson, Ambassador to the Kingdom of Morocco, designated Ministry of Foreign Affairs. 7. Business on President's death. A. Communications from Senator Francis H. Jogo of Liberia County submitting the following 4 amendments. A bill for an act amending the repatriation of export proceeds from sale of goods, services, and other related purposes from the Republic of Liberia. A bill for an act to amend Chapter 8, Sections 106 of the Liberian Revenue Code to include demurrage and other vessel-related income as taxable sources. B. Communication from Senator Albert Tupeche of Grand Crew County on the proposal to unbundle the Downstream Petroleum subsection and activities of the Liberia bills and other instruments in committee rooms. 8. AOB. 9. Adjournment. Madam Pro Tem, distinguished senators, the reading of the draft proposed agenda for this sitting.
Distinguished colleagues, prepare the reading of the draft agenda for today's sitting. What is the word in pleasure? Senator Zajusa.
Madam President and fellow colleagues, having listened to the reading of today's sitting, agenda for today's sitting, I move, if I can obtain a second, that the said agenda be received and open for discussion.
Without restating the motion, are you ready to vote? All in favor say yea. Against? Motion carried. Any intervention? Senator Twain.
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished senators, before I make my intervention, permit me to just say thank you to every one of you for standing with the people of Nimba last week for the homegoing ceremony of our late colleague, Senator Downstream. In that vein, I would like to add to the agenda. Legally, after 1 month, we should have informed the NEC about the passing of the late senator and then announce the vacancies. Because we pleaded with you people, you gave us more than that. Now that we've laid him to rest, we'd like the agenda to carry so that there can be an instruction given to the Secretary of the Senate to inform the National Election Commission that there exists a vacancy with the senatorial post in Nimba County, so that we can have another senator elected to add on to us so that Nimba can have an equal voice among all the other counties.
All right, Senator. It's usually done after the funeral, so the Secretary of the Senate will get it directed. Yeah. So we're not behind time. Senator Brown.
Thank you, Pro Tem. Distinguished colleagues, during the budget process, owing to the crisis in the House, the Senate discussed and agreed to collaborate with the lower house for the passage of the budget so that we don't have a national crisis. We have sooner coming next week, 6 days from now.
Senator Batikwa.
The Senate, in my view, we need to place an agenda so that we can discuss whether we take the same position It is the first tsunami after the crisis, or in the crisis. The Constitution says that when both houses meet, it is the Speaker that presides. My concern is that next Monday, we will convene the plenary session. The crisis at the lower house has not fully been settled.
Ready?
So I want to put an agenda as to who is going to preside on that.
That's not your decision. You contradict yourself. That's not your decision. You want to bring it to the record?
Senator Brown, people that actually communication. Yeah. Such an issue has to be on record. So that's your
Go preside and say, oh, there's some guy what I don't know. Yeah, but now it affects me. You have to recognize somebody as speaker.
So, sorry. The speaker has said the budget retire salary. They will know he's serious. But serious.
Everybody in the senator position. When the senator position, one minister that come out and no matter where you go. Yes, balance of position.
Why you get discussing anything? Why you get discuss what? Why you get to discuss here?
Committee hearing of 3.6 million. There's a fiscal outcome in your budget. The committee hearing amount has gone to 13.6. We need to get clarity on that matter. I want to suggest that we have some discussion about it on our AO. Yeah, say something about it. How fiscal outcome came from 3.6 million.
So we're not there now. Yeah,
Protein and police. Madam Protein, in our last sitting, I raised an issue. Madam Protein, please protect me.
Senator, this is only one way around. Senator Yang, your farm, Senator Yang quiet, and Senator Wayne, one way around each.
Thank you.
Yeah. Senator Batikwa, Senator Wayne, Senator Yang. That's one way around.
Thank you. Please make sure you pay today. Madam Protein and colleagues, on our last sitting, I raised an issue of a fire incident where the Liberian National Fire Service was here today at the committee of a whole. I'm not seeing that on the agenda. I didn't know whether it was,
So we include that on the agenda for the year, final one year,
okay, then the next thing is that well, please hold the other answer.
We got to know whether they were formally signed.
Okay, and then Protein, the Ministry of Finance, and then is not responding positively in terms of companies asking for investment opportunity. Because the fact remains that some companies are not performing.
Set up what I write you.
Okay, thank
We
you.
are not AOP matter. Another intervention. Yeah.
Concerning police, I want to bring to the attention that it will be the issue that has to do with those of us that have offices in the old building being barricaded. There is no electricity.
Set up as an administrative continue right now.
Yeah, but I think it's important.
So, in a break room, we have a conversation. We started this morning with the security. Senator Connor.
Concerning the Distinguished Police, I want to add honor AOB the issue about the elephants. It is very serious. It is serious.
All right, tell her we're out of there. With no intervention, can we get a motion to adopt the agenda? We already said, set up material intervention. Set up the boy $500. I'm not going to take those.
We need to have a clear rule as to the procedure when it comes to voting. Because sometimes people get confused. Other people raise issue, you say ready, put it in ready. Other people raise issue, you say put it on AOB. So we need to understand which issues have to come on AOB and which issues have to be raised officially. Because when people raise national issues,
so usually AOBs set up, usually AOB is either outstanding matter or by discretion of the presiding. When you sit there, you decide where you want to be on AOB.
Yeah, we have to follow the rules. They say things that follow rules.
So we already passed it. So we are amending the agenda. We're doing intervention to the agenda. We have to take a motion to adopt the agenda before we debate. Any motion? Before we say the motion, are you ready to vote? All in favor say yes. Against? Secretary Senate.
They can do that.
You know, I don't want to protest.
Communications from Senator Francis S. Gilmore of Middlesex County, Liberia County, submitting the following for amendment. 1. Therefore, act mandating the repatriation of export proceeds from sales of goods, services, and other related purposes from the Republic of Liberia. January 13, 2024. January 13, 2025. Senator Yomri Kana Lawrence, President Pro-Tempore in the Liberian Senate in session. Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Madam Pro-Tempore, greetings. Reference. Bill for an act mandating the repatriation of export proceeds from sales of goods, services, and other related purposes from the Republic of Liberia. Honorable members of the Senate, I'm ready to submit legislation for consideration by the Senate plenary regarding the act to mandate the repatriation of export proceeds from sales of goods, services, and other related purposes from the Republic of Liberia. As you are aware, there is nothing in the exchange policies of Liberia that relieve exporters from the necessity of complying with the export trade control regulations as laid down by the government of Liberia, including the necessity of obtaining an export license where necessary. Therefore, I urge you and your esteemed colleagues in the Senate to prioritize this legislation and facilitate a discussion that could lead to its swift passage. Together, we can take meaningful steps. Attached is a copy of the bill to be considered. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. I look forward to your support and the opportunity to discuss this bill further. Sincerely, with sentiments of highest esteem and redeemed. Signed, Senator Francis S. Doko II, Senator of River G County. The bill. An act mandating the repatriation of export proceeds from sales of goods, services, and other related purposes for the Republic of Liberia. The preamble. Whereas exchange policies regarding export of goods and services cover all goods and services exported from Liberia, irrespective of whether they are subject to license under the export trade control regulations of Liberia or not. Whereas similarly, nothing in the exchange policies of Liberia that relieves exporters from the necessity of complying with the export trade control regulations as laid down by the government of Liberia, including the necessity of obtaining an export license where necessary. Whereas the laws on export provides that no person or entity can export any goods and services from Liberia unless he or she is duly registered or a registered entity or license holder as an exporter and must comply with export regulations as laid down in the law. Whereas globally, every country has specialized export facilities and regulations aimed at strengthening international trade for the betterment of its economy and people. Whereas it is about time that the government of Liberia, through the Central Bank of Liberia,
there are two communications from Senator Topo, so we may allow him to do the second one and we will do one motion.
Second communication. A bill for the Act to amend Chapter 8, Section 806 of the Liberian Revenue Code to include demurrage and other vessel-related income as taxable sources of income. January 13, 2025. Senator Yomri Kana Lawrence, President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate Midsection, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Madam Pro Tempore, greetings. Honorable members of the Senate, I'm writing to submit legislation for consideration by the Senate plenary regarding a bill to amend Chapter 80, Section 806 of the Liberian Revenue Code to include demurrage and other vessel-related income as taxable sources of income. It is necessary to adjust the taxable income to include demurrage, fees to alleviate the economic and financial loss on the domestic economy, to increase the generation of revenue and income through the imposition of tax from rental of vessels-related equipment. Therefore, I urge you and your esteemed colleagues in the Senate to prioritize this legislation and bill and facilitate a discussion that will lead to its swift passage. Together, we can take meaningful steps. Attached is copy of the bill to be considered. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. I look forward to your support and the opportunity to discuss this bill further. Sincerely, with sentiments of highest esteem I remain. Senator Francis S. Dupo II, Senator, Rio G. County. The bill. The preamble. Whereas that the non-existence of taxable income as demurrage fees. Under Chapter 8.
So order sustain, we can get one motion now on the two bills.
And while on my feet, the two bills is received by plenary will be brought back on the floor for the second reading. And at the second reading, Senator Dogo have the opportunity to expand on this letter and the bills.
Yes, your
So are we sitting down, motion ready to vote?
Not really.
I'm very nice, Senator Phillips.
Madam President, distinguished colleagues, we are ready to vote if the mover can accept that copies be made distributed to all senators.
Let's do a second reading. Let's do a second reading.
Senator
This is the first reading.
Are we ready to vote if the movement will consider that the submission of bill, the author does not have to make any statement because the Senate to the committee, and then there, the deliberation statement.
Yeah.
It's a bill, it's not a communication for deliberation.
Right.
The deliberation at the committee level. So are we ready to vote if the movement will expect that? Yes.
We'll vote in the motion ready to vote. All in favor say yea, again. So there is three and the consent.
Business on President's desk. Communication from Senator Albert T. Gier of Grand Prix County.
Voluminous.
Voluminous.
On the proposal to bundle the Downstream Petroleum subsector in the territory of the Liberian Petroleum Refining Company, the LPRC. January 20, 2025, Liberia Senate. Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, President pro tempore, and members of the Liberia Senate, D section, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Madam President pro tempore and distinguished colleagues, reference proposal to unbundle the downstream petroleum sub-sector in the activities of the LPRC. We propose a national discourse with the aim of unbundling the activities of the Liberia Petroleum Refining Company LPRC, which controls the downstream petroleum sub-sector. Presently, the LPRC is acting as both referee and player in the management of the subsector as it is performing policy setting, regulatory oversight, and commercial operations role. For example, how can the LPRC license importers of petroleum products and at the same time it is an importer? How can the LPRC set prices through the monthly petroleum prices circular for importers when it is also an importer? This institutional conflict creates an uneven playing field that can be a significant barrier to the growth of the private sector. The efficient delivery of high quality and affordable energy services to the population and just revenue intake to the government of Liberia. To ensure efficiency, productivity, and cost-effective delivery of affordable energy services, international best practice dictates that the roles of policy setting, monitoring, regulatory oversight, and commercial operations be housed in 3 distinct institutions and not one institution or 2 institutions. In May 2009, the government of Liberia published their quote, National Energy Policy and an Agenda for Action and Economic Social Development, unquote. The document stated inter alia that as a key national energy policy objective, the government should amend existing legislation and create enabling laws to unbundle the activities of the Liberian Electricity Corporation, LC, in the power sector, the activities of the National Oil Company of Liberia, NOCAL, in the upstream petroleum subsector, and those of the LPRC in the downstream petroleum subsector. Madam Presiding, since that time, in the power sector, the government enacted a law that clearly vested policy setting in the Ministry of Mines and Energy, regulatory oversight in the Liberian Electricity Regulatory Commission, LERC, and the LEC retained a role as a commercial operator. In the upstream petroleum sector, a new petroleum law was enacted that placed regulatory oversight role for the Liberian Petroleum Regulatory Authority, LPRA, and policy setting for the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and NOCAL retained a role as a commercial operator. But in the downstream petroleum sector, the reform recommended by the National Energy Policy of 2009 has not taken place, and LPRC still has overlapping functions of referee and player. Distinguished colleagues, it is my fervent hope or prayer to plenary that the Senate Committees on Public Corporations, Autonomous Agencies and Energy, Hydrocarbon and Environment, with support from the Committee on Judiciary, lead the national discourse through public hearing and other legislative process, such as the review of the LPRC Corporate Charter of 1978 and that of the 1989 Code Act granting exclusive right to LPRC for the importation, sale, and distribution of petroleum and petroleum products within the Republic of Liberia, unquote. As a deliverable of the process, in line with the National Energy Policy of 2009, we look forward to an unbundled and efficient downstream petroleum sector with the creation of a small but efficient entity to oversee regulatory activity or destination of that function to an existing entity other than the LPRC. Explicitly vesting policy setting functions in the Ministry of Mines and Energy or any other government agency in committing the LPRC to a commercial operations function. Firstly, the national discourse will deliver the LPRC as a regulatory authority but divest it of commercial operations functions in line with international best practice in the national energy policy. Please accept, Madam President Pro Tempore and distinguished colleagues, the sentiments of my best regards. Very truly yours. Professor Albert Tubechi, Senator Grand Crew County, Madam President Pro Tempore. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, that's the reading of the communication from Senator Chair. What is the word expression? Senator Chair.
First, let me say thank you to Pro Tem Emeritus for this very important issue. Having said that, I move that the communication just read be received and the same be forwarded to the committees on hydrocarbon and energy and ad lead and the committee on public operation to deliberate on the communication and report to plenary in 2 weeks, if that is okay, report in 2 weeks. And that the author of the communication be given opportunity to expound on the submission. So move. For a few minutes.
Whether restating our motion, I ready to vote. Are ready yet? Senator Toko? Move it.
Well, I saw the technical workforce ability that I did later on. So, by the way, yes, move it.
That's it, I ready to vote.
All in favor say yea. Against? Senator Chip, 2 minutes.
Well, let me clarify that this communication is not intended to against the present management of FDR. As the policy stated, long overdue. The discussion has been taking place long time. Since the end of the civil crisis, government has instituted several reforms, especially with the institutional framework, so that across all sectors, we can have co-functions of policy setting, regulatory oversight, official roles, played by one agency. That is against international best practice. For example, the civil crisis, the LRA, Federal Revenue Authority, was separated from the Ministry of Finance. And we see how productive it is. In the telecommunications sector, the activities of the Ministry of Post has been unbundled in this place. And we see how the LTA was established as the regulator. We see how the Ministry of Post retained the position of policy sector, and the commercial roles are being played by the telco, MTN, and Orange, and other actors. So that's best practice. We made a work very productive in the complete productive. In 2009, in the first administration, the first day of the legislature, there was a national energy policy that was started with aid from the government of Liberia and USAID. In that policy was suggested that the key subsectors in the energy sector, electricity, the upstream controlled by local and the downstream controlled by LPRC, be unbundled. There was an electricity law that unbundled the electricity sector. It created the LERC as the regulator, the Ministry of Mines and Energy as the sector of policy, and LEC was licensed to be a commercial operator. In the upstream exploration sector, since they have to look out, there was a new petroleum law that created the LPRA as the regulator. Local was seen as a state company as commercial operator, and the Ministry of Mines and Energy was designated as the policy sector. But when it came to the downstream, controlled by LPRC, it has never happened. As you see, when the month ends, LPRC sets the price for petroleum importers, the price of petroleum importers. But at the same time, LPRC wants to be importer. Is it an importer? That's a conflict. LPRC regulates the importers, want to LPRC wants to report. The law that created LPRC, the Article of Incorporation, and the 1989 law gives LPRC the power to refund. But anytime there's a proposal for referring to the bill, LPRC sits around the table. That's also a conflict. So we have to unbundle those activities. The policy setting has to go to one administrator. The regulatory function, either we do a FPRC or create another entity or create a small entity to be the regulator, while the FPRC remains a commercial operator with a lot of other companies. That will create efficiency. When I look at the system, for example, our road fund, there's a lot of linkages because FPRC is basic with all three functions. It will never be effective. So we have to unbundle or separate those activities. So that's why I think the plenary to do that discussion because there has to be a political will for the government to agree that yes, this is what we want to go. And that discussion can start with public hearings by the committees so named in the motion that was made. Thank you, plenary. That's my presentation.
Committees to take note and report accordingly.
Business of President's Place. Briefing from committee chairs on bills and other instruments in committee room.
You want to hold a, what was the confirmation hearing? You want to do report from standing committees and the others.
Report from standing committees. Report from the joint committee comprising the committees on judiciary, human rights claims and petitions, public cooperation, on I to amend Title 30 public authority laws, Liberian Code of Laws revised to establish the Liberian National Tourism Authority Act of LNTA.
Protest.
Do we have a report from the committee?
Yeah, there's a report, but there's an oversight. The report was not signed by, it's a joint committee work, and was not signed by members of the Judicial Committee, omitting the signature of those from the Committee on Information, Culture, and Tourism. So we want to withdraw the report so that the signatures can be added and resubmitted for Thursday.
Okay, Secretary number 2. Make sure it's on the agenda for Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Confirmation report.
Report from standing committee. Report from the Committee on Foreign Affairs on the confirmation hearing of Honorable Dr. Al-Hassan Conte, Ambassador to the United States of America Designate, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Report from the Committee on Foreign Affairs of the confirmation hearing of Ambassador Dr. Al-Hassan Conte, Ambassador Designate to the United States of America. Recommendation. The Committee on Foreign Affairs, having examined the credentials of the nominee, coupled with his demonstrated ability to respond to inquiries, supported by his conduct during the hearing, it is the considered opinion of the committee that Honorable Conte be confirmed to the position as mentioned above. signed members of the Committee on Foreign Affairs. First one.
All members signed?
Majority.
Read the name of the person.
Signed, Senator Abraham Barros Dillon, Chair. Signed, Senator Sir H. Joseph, Vice Chair. Signed, Senator Albert T. Chair, Member. Signed, Senator Wesley M. Finley, Member. Signed, Senator Daba Mabande Bapula, Member. Signed, Senator Nyan D. Twayen Jr., Member. Signed, Senator Amor Conan, Member. Not signed, Senator James P. Banning, Senator Thomas Gallagher Nimlin, and Senator Edwin Melvin Snow.
I'm sitting right here. Yeah. You were in name outside.
So all the people that signed it, wasn't that was in
Do not poke out. We'll exchange it with yours.
Second report. Second report from the Foreign Affairs Committee on the confirmation hearing of Honorable Joseph F. Johnson, Ambassador Designate to the Kingdom of Monrovia. Recommendation. The Committee on Foreign Affairs, having examined the credentials of the nominee, coupled with his demonstrated ability to respond to inquiries, supported by his conduct during the hearing, it is the considered opinion of the committee that Honorable Johnson be confirmed to the position as mentioned above. Signed, Senator Abraham Barros Dillon, Chair. Signed, Senator Sir H. Joseph, Vice Chair. Signed, Senator Albert Tube, Chair, Member. Signed, Senator Thomas Yaya Newman, Member. Signed, Senator Westergaard Milton Finley, Member. Signed, Senator Dabat Mabande Babula. Signed, Senator Yan D. Twain Jr. Signed, Senator Amar Kone, Member. Unsigned, Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, Jr. and Senator James P. Bannon. Madam President Pro Tem. Sounds both.
Distinguished colleagues, I have been reading two confirmation reports from the Committee on Foreign Affairs for Honorable Dr. R. Hassan Comfort, Ambassador to the United States of America Designate, and with Joseph Johnson and Barbara came out of Monrovia protest. What is your main impression?
What do you mean by committed?
Senator Jim Smith. Senator Jim Smith.
Madam Pro Tem, Senators, move if I can obtain a second that is recommendation for the confirmation of the two ambassadors of the United States and Morocco be received and thus through votes on the record. Second.
Without restating the motion, are you ready to vote? So we'll vote on the record. Secretary, please call the roll. Buckle.
Roll call for vote of vote taken for the confirmation hearing of Honorable Dr. Al Hassan Conte, Ambassador to the United States of America, and Honorable Joseph Johnson, Ambassador to the Kingdom of Morocco. Monrovia County, Senator Sir Hadi Joseph.
Senator Sir Joseph vote yes for all two.
Senator Abraham Darras DeLong.
I vote yes, all two.
Senator President Delta Fielding.
Yes, both.
Senator Councilor Augustine S. Key.
Yes for both.
Senator Creighton O. Duncan.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Senator J. Grebo Brown, Maryland County.
Yes, I vote yes for all.
Senator Simeon Boyman Taylor of Brown, Cabon County.
Yes for all.
Senator Dawa Mbapla of Brown, Cabon County.
I vote yes.
Baum County, Senator Prince Kemu Moi.
Vote yes for both.
Senator Johnny K. Pehe of Baum County. Nima County, Senator Nyan D. Twain Jr.
Vote yes for all.
Grand Julia County, Senator Zoe Emmanuel Teno. Senator Thomas Yaya Nimland.
Yes for all.
Lopa County, Senator Councilor Joseph Ato Jala.
Yes to vote.
Lofa County, Senator Momoti Saros.
Yes for both.
Bombing County, Senator Alex Yankai Tyler.
Yes, yes.
Margibi County, Senator Nathaniel F. Mangil.
Yes.
Riverside County, Senator Wellington G. Won Smith.
Yes for all.
Grand Crew County, Senator Albert Kubechie.
Yes.
Senator Dominic H. Batukwa, Grand Crew County.
Yes.
River G County, Senator Francis S. Joko II. Barbaro County, Senator Boto Kanin. Barbaro County, Senator Amara Mohammed Kone. Madam President, Pro Tempore and Presiding Officer, distinguished members of the Senate. Result. Yes, 22. No, 0. Abstention, 0. Vote unanimous.
Without the nominees that we have confirmed, Senator Assembly, we act accordingly. So, distinguished colleagues, there's a tradition that every time we come back from our official break, we give senators the opportunity to brief us 2 minutes each on what they experienced on their break. In the past, we hear more about the hospital's conditions, the roads, and those situations that we have oversight over. I'm suggesting that it be done differently. All of us, or all the senators, are in charge of these different committees, and with robust oversight, we can do better when it comes to improving some of those situations that we're concerned about. So we give each person 2 minutes to talk more about their committee work. And what do we achieve from that, and what we hope to do during this session.
Achieve during the break?
To improve, talk about your committee. We want to know how well your committee has worked, and what we look forward to seeing when it comes to robust oversight. So the Secretary of Senate will start. And then, as usual, also after that, we'll give our committee awards today. I know people being lucky. Yes, let's start.
Most of our candidate, Sir Harry Joseph.
Transport committee, call the committee.
Chair on transport.
All the airlines are here. Protein and colleagues, thank you. Let me first of all say thanks to all members of the Transport Committee. Members of the committee, Madam President, have been cooperative in the committee's work. And one of the crucial issues that we were able to handle as a committee, 2017, the previous government signed a concession agreement with a company. And when another government took over, there was a contract signed between them, again with the Ministry of Transport. But during our working, a communication was written by one of our colleagues from Sando County, Senator Donkey, and committees. We were able to work with we called a public hearing in making sure that we perform our oversight responsibility. And during the public hearing, we invited the Ministry of Justice, the Liberian National Police, and the Ministry of Transport. And through our conversation, through the Ministry of Justice, it was finally agreed that the government of Liberia decided that they will work along with the transport concession that was signed. So we're hoping to see that that transition period will take effect. And what is our consideration is that we were able to visit members of the committee, visited the Ministry of Transport to see activities that have taken place. We also visited the concession that was signed between the government of Liberia and another company. We visited the site and we look at the plan of action. And Madam President and colleagues, most of the accidents that are taking place in Liberia that are causing a number of death cases is due to Transport Ministry or the Liberian National Police not being active in terms of having the equipment to perform on time. So it is agreed that they will effectively take action immediately or trucks break down. Too many breakdowns on the highway, on our highway. So it is agreed that immediately those actions take place, they will be able to recover those trucks or those vehicles. And I also want to say to you colleagues that too many vehicles flying the street of our country that are not roadworthy. We need to find a means to come up with strategies that we can work together so that those that own those old trucks, how as a government we can be able to create an opportunity to them through the government like yours so they can get trucks through a loan process. But we continue to experience too many accidents due to the present situation. So I want to say also that the Liberian Airport Authority, as we speak, conversations are ongoing for Springfield, for domestic airport, for 7 of the domestic airports in Liberia to be open. And 3 different companies have applied in making sure that they function in Liberia. As well, let me announce to you, and you can see for yourself, Turkish Airways, Ethiopian Airlines, they are also here. And more airlines are about to come to our country. Turkish Airlines is here. All agreements have been signed. All agreements have been signed. Madam President, please protect me. You can't support it winning here. I'm feeling winning. You can't support it. So all agreements have been signed, Turkish Airways and other airlines. As we speak, conversation as well going on, Jetta will be coming back. So I want to say thanks to members of the committee, and Madam President, thanks for giving us the opportunity, all support for the function of the committee. The next thing is that our committee is about to perform the oversight for your support. We'll be going outside of Monrovia County to look at other issues. Most importantly, the HPS conversation will ask them towards the real issue. The Committee on Transport will be having those conversations. Thank you so much.
Be clear with the time because
2 minutes.
After the Transport Committee, we want to go in chronological order. The foundation of the committee starting with the chairperson on the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
Kante, everybody
started with Maserati.
Madam President, distinguished colleagues, again, we want to appreciate our colleagues for the confidence in us to chair the Foreign Relations Committee of the Senate. I want to publicly commend members, the co-chair members of our committee for the work through the year. We work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is the sector, and along with Mr. President, who directs the foreign affairs of our country, to ensure that Liberia's image and our diplomatic missions across the world are restored. But during the year, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in collaboration with the committee, took an action to review the policy on issuance of diplomatic passports and service passports, and we've done all we can to ensure that the issuance of ordinary passport is expedited so that our ordinary citizens won't have a headache with passport issues. It's not all okay yet. We are working to ensure that we are there. Distinguished colleagues, protocol, national protocol is under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thereby, this committee will oversight. We take note that we need to work on the protocol of the Republic, especially at our national events. Also, as chair of information, broadcasting, tourism, and cultural affairs, I would like to state that we work closely with the Ministry of Information. We will do all we can to ensure that this session, this plenary, is brought live on ELBC. We're working on that modality. We know funding can be a challenge. We're working on that modality so that the session of the Senate can be live on ELBC, as well as carried a relay on some private stations so that the public can just get excerpts of what we do here. They can get the entire thing and then inform their own judgment. I want to say thank you. It was a tedious year. We had a lot of nominees, ambassadors to confirm. We went through rigorous confirmation hearings. One instance, sometimes you confirm people and the institution image is diminished out there because proper information is not out. For instance, we have the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Councilor Joe Gray. We have for more than 2 months because there was an allegation that she was a foreign minister and she allegedly sold passport, 29,000 passports. If we had left that allegation hanging, knowing to ourselves that it's not true, and confirm her, we will be left as an institution to be clarifying something and it will have hung over her. Or repetition. What did we do as the committee? We wrote officially to the NSA to investigate that matter. The NSA officially wrote back to the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs to say the 29,000 passports are safe in the container at NSA because NSA took the passports from the free port and they are in the custody of NSA. So if NSA has the 29,000 passports in the container at NSA, then it's not possible for us to have sold it. So we confirm her. In the case of Dr. Conte, for instance, who will confirm today, we held his confirmation. We demanded performance report on his stewardship at the University of Liberia while the university was not open. While we sent money there through the budget and finance ministry, funded that place, and the university was not open. We got all those reports, we will review them, and the committee is satisfied today, and including the issue on Dr. Conte, that he was ambassador in Nigeria and paid no attention to a rape issue. We investigated Ambassador Conte in a foreign country. Something happened in our embassy, which by law, international law, it is our territory in a foreign land. He forwarded the matter back to Monrovia, and with a recommendation that the Justice Ministry The crime should be prosecuted in Liberia because they are happening in a foreign soil on our land by Liberians assigned at the embassy. So the matter was forwarded to Monrovia, to the foreign ministry, and the foreign ministry forwarded to the justice ministry, and the justice ministry had it in court. That was what he would have done because he's not the minister of justice. We investigated all of those, we got all the records, and we are certified, so the committee will put him up for confirmation today. So these are some of the things we do in the back. So when we say we're going back to the committee, we want to investigate. So we want to say thank you. We are proud of our committee. Let's continue to work so that our oversight can be more strengthened. Our teeth can get sharper to bite so that we can perform to the expectation of our people, including Madam Pro Tem and distinguished colleagues as chairman on Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. I'd like to make a request. If we are not robust with information coming from this place, everybody will look here like you don't have character. Everybody. They will not take information coming from here. They will have more open and transparent. We're trying to be. We went to Grand Bassa County for a retreat, and one person put a them on a retreat. One person got up 2 in the morning or in the evening and said, we carry 700,000 to Grand Bassa County to go teach for retreat. As a result, nobody cared to know what we did at that retreat and what we achieved at that retreat for the country and the Senate. Because we say, oh man, I know that is so. Today again, we are in the air. That we put money in the budget for committee hearing, and the fiscal author jumped to hearing. Public trust is important, but the public trust can only come if we are upfront, we are open, and we are robust with the information. So as chair of the information committee, I want to ask the Senate so that we can empower the press department of the Senate. As chair of this committee, co-chaired by my colleague from Grand Cape Market, Senator Simeon Taylor, we must make our press department very robust. Not to go defend us when we're wrong, but with the proper information. And with the proper information out there, those who have ear and one ear will hear. Thank you.
Information will not carry the
Yeah, that's somebody we can't say on this. Get it. I spoke at 2
You are doing well for me and for the Memorial Committee for information.
Grand Bassa County. Grand Bassa County, Senator Grassanga Milton Finlay, Subcommittee Chair on Revenue, and Co-Chair on PSC.
Thank you. Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, I have nothing to say about committee because I co-chair 3 committees and my chairpersons will speak.
That's all right, Chair, so say.
No, they will speak. I cannot speak for the committee. But, Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, during our break, I was able to go to Grand Bassa County. And I can tell you, Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, what I've experienced, I'm sure each and every one of us experienced that. Difficulty in our context. But those difficulties are a reflection of what is happening in Liberia today. Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, there are 3 branches of government. And our people look to the 3 branches of government for relief. First branch of government is the legislature. And when it comes to us, with problems, with issues, we need to be able to address those issues. And if we fail to address those issues, they will turn to the executive for relief. And when the executive fails to address those issues, it will turn to the judiciary. And when the judiciary fails, our country is going to go into what? Anarchy. We have experienced it last year. We need to be more robust. We need to do more to bring relief to our country. To be able to achieve that, we have to do it together. I will always caucus with the opposition. I'm an independent, and I'll begin to play my independent role. 2025. I'll begin to fight for Liberia. I'll begin to fight for those who send me here, Grand Bassa County, the Bassa people, to address issues and problems that they are faced with. I will not say much more than that. I think my message is clear, but I like what Senator Dillon said. Minister Gray worked under me as a deputy minister. And for many years, there were passports being sold, not only by Minister Gray, but also by me. Well, allegedly. But the 29,000 passports that we still talk about selling passports when I was foreign minister, it's clear where they are now. And I think I'm really pleased with that. The public now have heard. You know, I will stop there. I want to thank you all, and I look forward, colleagues, to working with each and every one of you on any issue that you have, that you need my support on. Putin, we come from the same county. And I look forward to working with you to move the agenda of our country forward for the development and growth of Grand Bassa County, be it the Bassa land. I want to thank all of you for giving me such a wonderful welcome in 2024, and I look forward to 2025 with a successful year. Thank you. God bless all of us.
Why you gotta get
My man, let me tell you.
Sando County. Sando County. Senator Councilor Augustine Chair on Judiciary, Human Rights Claims and Petitions.
Distinguished colleagues, I greet you from the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Claims and Petitions. Ours is considered as the clearinghouse of the Senate. There's all legal instruments that come to this honorable body to pass through our committee. So our committee, the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Claims and Petitions, is responsible for our oversight over the judiciary, the Ministry of Justice, the Human Rights Commission, the Office of the Ombudsman, and of course the recently established Office of the War and Economic Crimes Court. This is a lot of work, and thankfully we have very committed members, I must admit, who have devoted the time to ensure that the committee sails smoothly with the piece of job that is assigned to us. And I want to commend my co-chair for his devotion to the work of the committee. We started up very slowly, but I've been very tough on him to make time. And of late, he has been doing well. And the rest of the committee members have also been doing well. That's it. Thank you to all of you for that. And because of that, we have succeeded as a committee in passing on the confirmation of several nominees of the government from the areas of governance that we provide oversight for. And that has been very, very successful. We have also been successful in making sure that those instruments that were submitted to our committee, some of which that were time bound, were taken care of and they were passed into law. The challenge that we have as a committee is that most of the instruments that come to us are instruments that are supposed to be dealt with by us and another committee. So the instruments are forwarded to joint committees. So for instance, there's an instrument, financial instruments. That instrument has to be attended to first by the committee on ways, means, and finance. I mean, I'm just for example, like any other instruments that come to us. So they have to attend to them first before submitting them to us. And our challenge has been that most often there's always been a kind of delay from the lead committee to attend to those instruments before sending them to us. And sometimes we request that there should be a joint committee hearing. Most often, some of the committee will not be forthcoming in attending the joint committee meetings. So I want to urge my colleagues of the other committee in order to make sure that we are effective, we are efficient in executing our responsibilities. We should ensure that once we have a joint committee assignment, we should attend to it as a joint committee. Or you do your part and you send it to the judicial committee. But most times, they leave it with the judicial committee. And they are the technical people, for instance, when it's a transfer, you have a transfer instrument. The transfer people should attend to it first and send it to look at the legality of it. Look at the technical aspect of it, from the angle of transportation, and then send it to us. To look at the legality of it. But sometimes they can't even to us. And that delays our work. And I want to urge my colleagues to please take that on advisement to please attend to the instrument or recommend that we look at those instruments jointly and timely. As a legal arm of the Senate, we also have a challenge. We have a challenge as a body, as a country, in the area of rule of law. We are supposed to oversee the whole aspect that has to do with our governance in terms of the rule of law. We have issues, several issues with the rule of law. And I think as a government, as a Senate, we need to seriously attend to the breaches of the law that are taking place in our country, attend the law, the appointment of local officials, and even the issue at the House and what have you. We need to organize ourselves on the basis of the system of governance that will be propelled by the rule of law. And I'll tell you there are some lapses when it comes to the rule of law that we really pay serious attention to. Thank you.
You know we have a dinner happening. You know we
Maryland commentary. The final commentary. Senator Clayton Duncan, Chair of Autonomous Commission and Agency.
When Maryland saw, when did you come to little boy. Maryland surrendered. I didn't give me a few days. Country by
Madam President, thank you for this opportunity. Colleagues, thank you for giving me the time to talk to you. The Committee on Autonomous Agencies and Commission took the first year to confirm a lot of, we have supervision over about 16 different agencies and commissions. We took the time confirming. Also, we took our time getting acquainted with those leaders and the problems within the various agencies and commissions. But just to bring to your attention, colleagues, is that we took keen interest in the National Identification Registry. That agency that we believe is responsible for identifying Liberians is important to the extent that when effectively supported, we realize that all of us can have an identity in this country, and through that, we will be able to accomplish a lot, even to the extent of being numbered and identified that our National Election Commission, the Immigration, and other agencies could rely, and I use the word rely, on the data collected by the National Identification Registry to make things easier when it comes to the voting process, social services issues that will help to improve the livelihood of our people. So based on that, we visited Ghana to see what is being done there with the identification of the Ghanaians. We spent 3 nights there examining the group there that is basically registering all Ghanaians. And they have a fine process based on that registry. So now in Ghana, everyone has the ID. It runs with the banks, it runs with the social security, it runs, I mean, everything is not China. And so we wanted to see firsthand what is happening in Ghana in order to push that cause here. Also, another issue that I want you to pay attention to is our archive, the National Archives. It is so bad off, and we hope, it's just that this budget year came, under a time of the crisis at the lower house, so we never had time enough to really push to pay attention to the archive. Nevertheless, you know that the archive is responsible to keep our records, the country records, on the issue of land dispute and other records that should be kept in there. We don't have a facility to register those information. That is why we find a lot of issues going to court, because people are basically double dipping. You sell this to this person, and then there's no record to show that that has been sold, and so then you go and sell to another person. But with the last one that we pay another keen attention to is the National Election Commission. The National Election Commission, over the years, we have realized that it does not have financial autonomy. And we believe that with not having that autonomy can cause some problem based on its independence. And so we want to make sure that there is autonomy financially, so that people cannot intimidate the agency in order to perform its its constitutional duty. So on the 30th of this month, which is next week Thursday, at this building in our conference room, at 2 p.m., we have the usage accompanied by the Integrity Watch and also the Democracy International, 3 major agencies, international organizations that will be here in order to discuss with the committee members in order for us to have an understanding on the way forward for the financial autonomy of the National Election Commission. Then we will come to plenary in order to push for that. So with that, I'd just like to thank you, Madam President, for your cooperation, even though we haven't started giving you much of a hard time, because it's the first year for everything. And so within the second year and onward, we will be coming knocking on your door for the support for this committee. Thank you very much. Asano Ball will win the
Maryland County. Senator J. Brown, Chair of Rules, Order, and Administration.
Oh, I come to that battle with that. I come to that battle.
What's your internal affairs?
Your Excellency, Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, I bring you greetings from 2 committees that I'll briefly be reporting on. The first is the Committee on Rules and Administration, and the last will be in my capacity as Vice Chair. I'll be reporting on the Committee on Internal Affairs, Governance, and Reconciliation. On the ROAA, my colleagues and I have been working tirelessly with our staffers to improve their welfare. Pro Tem colleagues, I want to report that they are professional people in our civil service. I've worked with them for the past few months, and I believe that we have great men and women who are working as our civil servants. We need to continue to improve them, and I believe if we do so, we have the maximum support or output from them. So we need to continue to improve their welfare. We've had discussions with them over the years, over the months, to see how we can strengthen their capacities through workshops. But unfortunately, for funding level, we're not able to hold some workshops, but we had some group meetings where we provided some directions, what they themselves flag out some of the areas that need strengthening on. We also, most of you are aware that the Civil Service Agency, we invited them, and then they did an official audit. We first started working with the Internal Audit Department to strengthen our work attendance at the Senate. And we designed the attendance record system. We started implementing them. We invited the Civil Service Agency. You heard a report when they came here. And so we have worked with them. All of the department heads. And so now we can simply say we have a verifiable civil service listing at the Liberia Senate. We intend to, because we had two issues, so we could not implement the staff insurance policy. Number one issue was we wanted to straighten up the issue of the staff listing, and then to incorporate into the insurance policy this issue of death consideration. For the past year, we've lost about 4 to 5 staff, and we struggle how to support the families to bury our staff members, our deceased staff members. And so we started to discuss with the insurance policy providers that we needed to incorporate into the insurance policy some benefit in the event we lost any of our staff or so. We want to report that effective next month, February, we hope to have a good insurance policy in place for the Senate staffers. We also want to report Madam Pro Tem that under your leadership as President Pro Tem of the Senate, 2024, we have settled all entitlements for our staffers, including all senators. Salaries and few allotments have all been paid on time. So as we speak, we owe no senator, we owe no staffer. December 2024 will still, I think, still be distributed. But we can safely say that all benefits for senators and staffers have been settled with no arrears. During the period, we also, due to low service and aid,